Hello and welcome to Around the Best Town. I'm your host, Mayor John McCormick, and we're here today with Dixie Longy from the famous Dixie's Tupperware Party. Today is April 9th. Tomorrow is April 10th, a very famous day in the history of Woodbridge Township because we open up the Avenel Performing Arts Center at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, and Dixie and her Tupperware Party is the very first act to ever appear at the Avenel Performing Arts Center. Dixie, welcome to Woodbridge.
Thank you so much, Mayor. I'm so excited to be here. Are you kidding me? When they called, they said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Drinking." They said, "You won't come to the Performing Arts Center here?" And I said, "I love nothing better than that." Well, I love like 3 things better, and one of them involves the football team. But that's a different kind of day. And so I said, "Yes, I'll be honored to." So I'm so excited to be your inaugural show that's coming to the Arts Center. Thank you for having me.
The very first show. Now tell me, you're a Tupperware salesman.
I am.
Tell me how that started.
Well, I started 17 years ago. I had to get a job in order to get my kids back. According to my parole officer, she said, "You need a job." I'm like, "But you said freedom." And, you know, then they throw your kids at you. They make you take them back. I think that's something.
You tried not to take them back?
No, no. You know, you get out and you're like, "I want to do anything I can." They're like, "You got 3 kids." I'm like, "Don't quite remember." You know, then you try to like change your hair this way so that they won't recognize you.
Were they actually your kids?
They were, yeah.
You had them?
I had 3 kids, and they're 3 different. Well, I've been married 3 times, but none of the kids are products of the marriages. So, but I did wait till after I was married to have my first kid.
So there's 6 different men involved, you're trying to say.
You know.
Hey, look, it happens. It happens. No, I'm just trying to get to the facts here.
Well, yeah. So there's been different men in my life. I mean, everybody's had dates that have gone right and things that have gone wrong. You know, we've all
get it.
there.
I understand.
It's true. But then, yes, I got my kids. Got a 3-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 16-year-old. Winona, Dwayne, a little Absorbing Jr. He's heaven's little angel. That one. He's so sweet.
Bet she's a pain.
No, it's a little boy, and he lays on the ground a lot. I step over him, but he's an angel sent straight from Jesus. He shakes a little bit. I was drinking when I was pregnant. They didn't tell you.
Now, how often do you see them? You run the road all the time?
I'm on the road all the time, so I don't see them all that much. But what they'll do is every once in a while they'll be like, "Mama, let's Skype," or whatever. And so you got to turn the computer on, and they say hello, and then there's like a bloody handprint on the wall, and the cat's missing a leg. So I'm like, "Oh, I'm going through the canyon. I'm going to lose my reception." I just shut the door to the computer because I don't need to see what's going on.
I hate when that happens.
It's true. It's just a hassle. And then my friend Georgia Jean, she lives a couple trailers down. She comes over. She says, "Should I go in? Should I check on them?" I'm like, "No."
They're all in the same place?
They all live near each other. Well, all the kids are at home, but then my friends live nearby, and then they come over, and I'm like, "Let sleeping dogs lie. Don't poke a bear with a stick," or what. I don't know the phrase, but it's something like that. And so, you know, I do my best to make sure they're okay, but I want to let them learn on their own. You know, that's how they become better adults.
And you're born in Alabama, Mobile, Alabama?
Mobile, Alabama, born and raised.
What was it like growing up there?
Oh, Lord. You know what? It's real nice. Every once in a while, a big storm blows in and then it relocates all the trailers, so all of a sudden you have different neighbors, so that's kind of fun. But it was pretty nice growing up. Then every once in a while, the whole Gulf Coast will be flooded with oil because of an oil spill, so that's kind of a pain. But,
oil?
But yeah, oil.
Okay,
and then but then you got to clean up the oil and then clean up all the birds and everything, and then everything's good again. So
you don't mind if I translate to the audience, do you?
Sometimes people go, "Ooh, you got an accent." I don't understand.
No, but, it's not that bad really at all.
Yeah, I mean, I came up as a Christian lady, and they never have no accents down there. So, but yeah, so I started selling Tupperware 17 years ago, and then I said, "I'm not going to be able to do that because that's what old ladies do." That's what I thought. And then I had my first party, and all these people coming to the party, they all had a good time. And then I started making money, and I was drinking for free. The host of the party said, "Would you like a cocktail?" I said, "But I'm not supposed to. I'm working." But then she said, "It's a party," and I said, "Wait, I can drink at work?" I'm hooked.
Great job.
So it's the best job on the planet, so I kept it, you know, because of that. And then I started selling a lot, and then I thought, this is easy. I'm going to make money just going to a party and drinking and talking about plastic bowls. Well, got it done. And then from there, I just kept doing more and more parties, and then I would go to the Jubilee, the big Tupperware convention, get recognized for all my sales, and it just went up from there. I just kept doing it.
You became a famous Tupperware salesperson.
Isn't that the craziest?
You were #1 in the whole country at one point.
Isn't that ridiculous? Yes, I was selling so much. I would go to the Jubilee, and the Jubilee is the National Tupperware Convention, and they have it.
Well, that must be exciting.
Oh, it's like the Academy Awards of food storage.
They have new products they show you, new bowls, new plates.
All the time. They
wow.
launch new things, and they get recognition to all these people, and then people are losing their mind. They're like, we got a new bowl, and people are like, ah, you know, it's amazing. You don't even know. And then what I loved about it was they would always recognize, you know, the top sellers and the top team builders and stuff like that. And you'd see these people that would get on stage and be recognized that had never gotten any recognition in their life for nothing before. And it was so fun to watch them be sort of cheered upon, and everybody's lauding them with all this praise. And so that's what was so kind of hooked me. And I said, I want to keep selling. I want to do my best. I want to get up on that stage. And so that have been my drive for the longest time.
You've been a star since.
Well, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. And one thing leads to another, and we keep going. Yeah.
Can I ask you a personal question?
You can.
Are you in a relationship now?
I'm not in a relationship now because I've had my fill of some of the relationships, and you know what they say. You know, why milk a free cow when you can get milk a cow when
something like that.
Something like that.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, like, well, you can milk me. That's the whole point of that.
I like my women a little more mentally stable.
Well, God bless America. Yeah. You know, because some people are crazy. I don't know.
I mean, I'm attracted to you, but
stop it with your nice words.
Not that much.
Oh my Lord, you make me all tingly in the Jesus place.
I have that effect on women.
I can tell.
Yeah,
I can tell.
Yeah,
but no, I'm not in a relationship right now. I was like, you know what? And also being on the road so much, it's hard to have a relationship because I have to, you know, pretend to care about my kids, and then you got to fit in a relationship on top of that. That's a whole-time job.
It's tough telling a guy you have 3 kids. You know,
oh my Lord.
3, 10, and 16.
You know what they do.
Little absorbing.
Sometimes they don't even pay for drinks. They just leave. And you're like, oh,
that's awful.
That's why I don't bring that up till the end of the date. Yeah.
You always snort when you left?
You know what? I grew up near a pig farm, so it sort of became ingrained in me. I can't help it. Sometimes I didn't realize
it just started happening, and then you just went with it.
It happens. What are you going to do? You live around the pigs too much.
So tell me about the road. You say you're on the road. You've been all over. I know you played Iowa, you played Arkansas, some real hotbeds of entertainment in the country, right?
The way you paint that picture, it sounds so exciting. I wish I was doing it myself.
I mean, Des Moines, Iowa?
I did.
Fayetteville, Arkansas?
The whole tour launched in Des Moines, Iowa in 2008, like all this other years ago. And I'm still on the road now, so that tells you how many years I've been on the road.
How much?
But
keep going.
Well, I've been all over. Well, I've been in 5 different countries. I've been in countries I didn't even think had food. So that's going to tell you something. I've been all over, and I'm doing my show and having fun and learning from different audiences and showing them different Tupperware. And Tupperware is sold in over 100 countries worldwide, so people don't even know that in some different countries they have different kinds of Tupperware because they have different kinds of uses for it. Because some places don't have the same foods we do. Some places don't have the same kind of, like, there's social things. Like some places that are in America, we love doing parties. Some places are much more about the family and gathering at home. So it's different kind of mentality. So Tupperware brands in the different different territories will cater their things to what those territories like. So I go to different places and I go, ooh, we don't have a kimchi maker, but they sure do in Tupperware Japan. Isn't that fun?
I get it.
I know. Can't even help it.
So you couldn't sell Tupperware in a country that has no food, could you?
Well, that would be hard because I think, what are you going to store in here?
I don't know.
Dust. You don't really need to store dust. It's plentiful in some places in the country, especially under my bed. Oh, the dust bunnies roll down there.
So how did you get to get booked to come to the opening night of Avenel Performing Arts Center? Well, you know Anthony, right?
I do. So
he's the best.
Anthony Wilkinson, who is your creative director, you know, he's the artistic director.
Artistic director. You got to get it right.
Well, he's so artistically driven, you know, and I've known him for a while, and he said, hey, what are you doing? And I said, drinking. And he said, come on. And I said, you know, how high, you know, or what, I don't know how that goes. They're like, hey,
you don't catch a lot of these phrases. You got to work on that.
Well, my mama was drunk when she raised me, and she always got the wrong phrases, so I kind of picked it up from her.
Yeah, but you got to get a book and maybe go online and
phrases in books now.
Yeah, you can read a book. You can get online on your computer. You can say famous phrases. You can study them.
This is a whole
It would help you for your next interview.
This is why you are mayor.
That's why I'm elected. I help people. I help people all the time.
You are a giver.
I care about people. I care about you.
I can feel it.
I can't wait to see your show.
God bless America.
It's going to be great. Let's get back to Anthony.
Yeah, well,
Enough
Anthony
about
called me up and he said, hey, we're opening this art center. And he had seen my program before and he liked it real much and everything.
Where did he see it?
Well, he's seen it a couple times. I've seen it at a couple different art centers. I think he came to the Denver Center for the Performing Arts and saw it out there. And he saw it way back in its infancy days when I was first starting it out, practicing and everything.
When he was an infant?
Well, no, he's never been an infant. He came out a full-grown New Jerseyer. But he said, way back in the day before I actually took it on stage, and I was still doing it as Tupperware Party in people's living rooms, he had seen me do it, and he's like, oh, this is so fun, I want to see more. And then when it became a show, when I took it to New York and it became a show, that's when he said, oh, someday we're going to program this somewhere, and lo and behold, here I am.
So it's all due to Anthony.
Isn't that so funny?
He's
God
a star finder.
He is a star finder. He's like that thing you put on the sand when you're trying to find somebody's keys or a quarter or something. He's like that. But
metal detector, that would be.
Pretend I was buried under the sand, and he had a big old metal arm. That's what he's like.
Have you ever been buried in the sand?
Well, there's 2 times, and one of them I remember very clearly. The other one I was so drunk I don't remember. I passed out, but I could tell the next morning when I woke up because there was sand all in my sheets. That is always a hassle.
And other places too, probably.
But, yeah,
right?
well, it's easier to get out of the other places than it is out of the sheets. Trust me.
Good point.
I learn things at the laundromat that you don't want to know. You don't have that many quarters to get things dry. Let me tell you. But no. So it's fun. So he said, "Why don't you come up? We're going to open up the season. We're going to open up this big art center. We'd love you to be the inaugural show. We'd love you to be the ribbon cutter." And I said, "Oh my Lord, I love it." So I did, and here I am. And tomorrow you're going to put a roof on the building and put me in the damn stage. See, I think that's awesome.
And you have not seen it yet, right?
I have not even seen it.
You're going to see it for the first time tomorrow.
Yes, I've seen pictures of it. I've seen, the drawings of it, what it's going to look like. But I have not seen it. I haven't stepped foot in it, so I can't even wait. It's going to be so much fun.
We'll have your picture all over the places the very first time.
My Lord, you and the police station.
So there too, you probably have some pictures there
couple
too.
Of them, couple of them.
I'll look downstairs before we go. Maybe you shouldn't go down and see the police station.
Well, it's hopefully not this police station here. I got them in other police stations, but so far I've kept my noses
they share stuff, so
they
you never know.
Yeah, you never know. Every time I get pulled over, they're like, "Oh, we know you." I'm like, "I've never been here before." They're like, "We heard." You know how it is.
I'd give you a PBA card to get you out of anything in Woodbridge.
I don't even know what that is, but I said
a little
yes.
card. It's like a get out of jail free card. It says, "You know the police PBA president." That's serious.
Listen, if you give me a deck of those cards, I'll make sure to use them wisely.
One a week for the whole rest of the year.
Amen. That is a gift that keeps on giving.
You're not kidding. So tell me about the show. Now, you're in the show, less about 90 minutes,
Show's about 90 minutes, 95 minutes. What it is it's a show of, it's a Tupperware Party. So it's like the Tupperware Party on stage where there's games and prizes and raffles and all this fun stuff.
Are there always games and prizes and raffles at Tupperware parties?
Well, yeah, and that's what it is.
Your Tupperware parties, but not a basic. They're boring, aren't they?
You know what? It's funny because a lot of people give Tupperware side of a bad rap. They think about, oh, it's the thing that Grandmama did, but it's still going strong. They still make amazing stuff for your home and office and for life, and to make everything easier and faster and to save you money.
I don't know what you just said, but it sounded good.
It's the most amazing crap on the planet.
I believe that. I believe that.
And so to make the parties fun, because it is, after all, Tupperware Party. You want to do things that are going to be fun, and so that's why I was throwing games, and a lot of other people throwing games. Or you can go on the Googles and be like, what are some Tupperware games? And get a list.
There are Tupperware games?
There are. There are things you do at the Tupperware parties.
Like play hide and seek with the balls and the plates and
that's a nighttime game, but it's really worth doing.
I wasn't going there, but you did.
It's fun. I speak the truth. But yeah, so the show is like that, but it's a real story of women's empowerment. So there was a woman who started the Tupperware Party. Well, Earl Tupper started Tupperware, and then this woman named Brownie Wise, she said, "Oh, this is an amazing product, but nobody knows what it is," because Earl Tupper was selling it on shelves in stores, and no one was buying it because no one had ever had a plastic bowl. No one had ever had a seal that sealed up that you just put it on that would lock in freshness and keep your stuff fresher. That was a whole new concept because plastic was brand new when they were doing this. This is back in the 40s, and so somebody gave Brownie Wise a set of the bowls, and she said, "These are amazing, but you got to demonstrate them. You can't just put them on a shelf because they don't make no sense unless you're demonstrating them." She was a Stanley home product sales lady, and so she knew that the value of going door to door, knocking on doors, saying, "Let me show you this product." So she said, "What if I do that with Tupperware? But what if I inform it? What if I go one step better? What if I take it inside the home and we get a bunch of people
to you?
Bring people to you.
Instead of making 10 stops, you make one stop. They all come in, boom, you got them sold.
And then show it in the way that they're going to be using it right there in the home, and it became a party. And then Earl Tupper was like, "That is such a good idea. I love that." And she was selling so much Tupperware just herself. She kept calling the distributor from the manufacturer and saying, "We need more of this here because we keep running out." And Tupperware was looking at it going, "How come this one region in Michigan keeps running out of these bowls? They're selling so well there. What's happening?" Well, it was Brownie Wise. So they invited her down. They talked to her about it at the corporate headquarters. They made her vice president of Tupperware. And keeping in mind, this was in the early 50s, and there were not women that were vice presidents of any companies back then. So this was a big deal. And she became this woman who created this thing, and then it just exploded. And then she started saying, "I need people to go out across the country and be my little distributor forces. Go tell more people about Tupperware and get it spread." And now it's sold in over 100 countries worldwide. Isn't that crazy?
So she's an American business pioneer.
She is a pioneer, and she was the first woman ever to be featured on the cover of Business Week magazine. And what's so fascinating is people don't even know this. So every direct selling company company has modeled their whole Salesforce idea on Tupperware. So that Tupperware is the first one that did it this way, and there's so many now candle parties and Mary Kay parties, and the different parties, the sex toy parties. I've had one.
This is Family Channel.
Well, look,
we don't go there.
That's why you show this late at night when they could be like boop and talk that, and then they say all these parties. Boop. Yeah, I can do another thing with boop too, but that's the other thing. I need a thing with a handle and a battery, and so she's done so much that there are more. She has created more money for more people with more jobs than anybody else in the world because of her direct selling expertise that started it. That has created this empire of other direct selling companies. More money, more people have made more money because of what she did. She is the #1 job creator that's ever existed.
So is she a multimillionaire now, or what?
Well, she's passed away now, which is sad. But her whole thing, it's not that money's funneling into her, it's that she created a thing that more people copied and more people grew on and more people made money doing than any other job creator, any other corporation, anybody.
More than Microsoft, more than all them.
Yeah. It's amazing. If you look back at all the people that have copied what she's done, she is the single source for all of that. And it's amazing when you think about it, that this little plastic bowl has gone on to become this multinational empire, all because this one lady going, I have an idea how to sell that. So you never know. The best ideas you have can go on to do great things if you just put them out like that. And so what I do is I take the Tupperware Party and I take a little bit of her story and I take a little bit of everybody else's ideas in the world. I kind of crunch it all into one Tupperware Party. And so it becomes a celebration about the ideas that you have and the things that you are doing, but you might be stopping yourself from doing. I say, well, go on out and do that. Do something that's going to make the world a little bit better. Smile on the people around you. So that's what the show is about. It's a fun, raucous, fun evening, but at the same time, it leaves you feeling a little bit better about yourself, so you go out and take on the world.
And it's interactive, right? You talk to people, and people come up on stage, and you interact. And tell me about that.
Well, everybody gets a catalog and an order form, so they're following along. And so throughout the demo,
you before the show starts?
Yes, so you can start looking through it.
That's a brilliant marketing technique. Well, they can start ordering while they're sitting watching you. I like one of those. I like one of those.
Of course. I mean, people need to know about food storage. It's very important. Yeah. And so I go out and and then I bring people up on stage to help me with some of the demos. I get people up on stage for some of the raffles. I get people to help me with the games and everything. So there's throughout the whole night you're going to be interacting, because I don't want people to just sit here like and stare at me. I mean, I'm pretty.
I don't think people do that when they see you. No one's bored.
No. You were so sweet. You make me want to rub on your leg like a dog looking for peanut butter. You were just too neighborly for words. I just love you.
It's not my fault.
I know. It's just Jesus was in a good mood when he made you. I get it. I get it.
Tell me about on the show. What's the funniest thing that's ever happened in one of your shows?
You know, it's because I've been around so much. I've had
tomorrow night,
so many. Well, I'm sure stuff is going to happen over the next 2 weeks. I can't even remember. But I have a Q&A section in the thing where I ask people. Other people can ask questions, and a lot of times mostly they ask about the Tupperware. They'll ask different questions about the Tupperware or its history, or sometimes people ask about me. I can't help it. But but there have been different people that have shared stories, and some of the stories are so strange and weird, and some of the people have had the funniest reactions. I had a woman at a party one time. I had this new little product that was a little Barbie like mini tea service set, but I thought it looked like Barbie's mini alcoholic starter kit, because it had a little pitcher for tequila and 4 little shot glasses. And then these little plates to put on your salt and your lime. And I'm like, well, look, the Barbie's mini starter alcoholic kit. And this woman sort of collapsed over and started choking, and we all stopped and rushed over to make sure she was okay. Turns out she had coughed her fake teeth into her hand, and so she was just convulsing. Oh, it's just the worst, especially in church. And so she shoved him back in. We went on that, but that was fine. I was like, all right, as long as we don't got to shove you to the ambulance, then you're gonna be fine. I had a woman that was she had in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'll never forget this. She was sharing a story about she had with these old celery keepers, the old long rectangular green celery keepers from back in the day. And I always say, you know, hey, if you have a product that you love, give me your Tuppermonial and we'll share it with everybody. So she said, well, I have this celery keeper and I have an albino gecko named Casper. Like you do. Of course. And then she said, he's getting a little older, so it's a little harder for his skin to shed right now. So what we'll do is we'll fill it a little bit with water and put him in it, and that makes his skin a little bit more pliable and a little easier. And then I'll just take him and kind of massage him like this, and his skin will roll off when it's time to shed your skin. And she said, bonus, when you do that, it helps his constipation, so he can poop right out. And I thought, you know, you could have stopped way earlier in that story.
But that's a wonderful invention.
Yeah, but it was nice of her to, and I said, so I assume you don't use this for celery no more. Is that should be taken away from that? Yeah, she don't. She don't.
You should patent that product and take that on the road.
Well, how many people have an albino gecko named Casper?
I don't.
She doesn't either, because the poor thing died. She sent me a message, which was so sweet, and she said, oh, he passed away. Do you remember him? And I said, I have a hard time forgetting him.
Did they have a funeral? Did they have a service for him?
It was just, I think, well, I don't know if she buried him in the celery keeper. She might have. I didn't ask her that much. Right. I was so overwhelmed by the loss of Casper that I just had to have my own grief in my own way.
I understand.
Went to the bar. But it was fine.
What's your best-selling product?
You know, every city has different things. So where we'll have, like, for example, like in New York, for example, somewhere places this, people have smaller homes, smaller apartments, smaller places they live in, so they can't have the big party stuff. They can't have the big bowls and stuff like that. Right? So they have the smaller things, like the little graters, or the little place they call the Piccadilly, where you put in your fruit with vodka, and then it absorbs it like a shot, and then you pack it in the kids' lunches. It's real nice. Or things like that. But then there's places like in Texas I've been in where they have just sprawl and nothing but room, you know. And so for them, they said, well, we want the big Jello shot caddy, which is this caddy that you put Jello shots on it and you take it to church. So if you're going through a sermon that's a little bit like, oh, I heard this before, I know how it ends, and in order to not get bored, you have some Jello shots and you get right through it. You're like, oh, I like that sermon. That's a good story. I'm going to share that after we go to the Golden Corral for lunch. You know, I like the Golden Corral. It's got that chocolate fountain. Be careful what you put in there, though. They did a story on that 60 Minutes about it. When you put things in it, sometimes there's E. coli and bacteria in it, and so whatever you stuck in might come back a little tangier than you thought it was going to be. But you got to play to win. Yeah. So yeah, there's all kinds of different things. So I mean, but I love my wine bottle opener. One of my favorite things in the whole damn world. I have a couple of them. I got one in the you know, by the bar, obviously.
So Tupperware makes a wine bottle opener.
You will be amazed at the stuff that they make. But they have this wine bottle opener that is the easiest thing to do. I have one right in the glove box, so that way if I'm driving, I was like, whew, I'm parched. What I do is I reach in the glove box, go back in the back seat for my stash, get something right there, open it like that, split as a second. I swear before that red light goes green, I have opened that bottle of wine. And
drank half of it.
Say, well, I do. I drink as much as I can, and then, you know, if I go, woo, they pull me over, I can use one of them cards. Look at that. See, it's a full circle.
So here's something in my life. Do they make a Tupperware beer pitcher?
You know what? They have a pitcher in general. You can put anything in it.
No, it's got to be a beer pitcher.
Well, I'm going to do my best to have one made.
Why don't we? Let's invent one together.
I'm here for you.
I'm here for you. Let's share the proceeds of the Woodbridge Tupperware beer pitcher.
Amen. Amen. Consider it done.
Fill it up with some Miller Lite. Sit at the bar at the Avenel Performing Arts Center with curtains, bar, and restaurants, some nice appetizers, a wonderful dinner.
Yes.
It'd be phenomenal.
Amen.
We'd be rich.
I'm thinking about it right now.
Where's your favorite place that you've been in the world? Where's your favorite city?
Well, Lord, you know that every city has something different to offer. There are some cities.
Until Avenel, I mean.
Well,
until Woodbridge.
Obviously, I haven't opened. When I open here tomorrow, it's going to be the
next mayor's going to interview someplace in Dubuque, Iowa, and you're going to say,
I will tell you,
I love that Woodbridge Township. That was great.
I've never been interviewed by a mayor before. I've been in front of some mayors because of other reasons, but I've never been interviewed. So this is a whole treat.
So you never got married by a mayor? You always got a justice of the peace or a church or what?
I've had reverends, and I've had people, you know, they're like, oh, quick.
Well, the next time I could marry if you find a boyfriend.
Well, listen, all right.
We could work on that.
All right. All I know is that sounds like a whole heap of flirting right now.
Oh, you never know. You never know, baby.
I like it. So
tell me about where in the country.
So I've been all over the United States, and I've been to Canada, and I've been to London.
Canada, is that next to Canada?
It's upstairs, yeah.
Okay.
And then I've been to the UK. I've been to Scotland, and I've been to the Australias, and so
there's only one Australia,
but it's got different sections on it.
Oh yeah, everything has different sections.
The east, the bottom part, it's big when you travel. And then, so I've been I went to Melbourne, Australia a while back, and I had the best time. It was one of my favorite experiences because what was so interesting about it is Tupperware was launched there much more recently. So there's still this the kind of fervor that they had about Tupperware here in the United States in about like the 50s and 60s. It's what they have there now. So when I would pick things up, before I'd even talk about them, I would pick up a product and people would lose their mind and they'd be cheering and clapping because they all had a relationship to it. They'd all recently bought it. They all knew what it was. People have been talking about it.
People get into their Tupperware, right?
So excited.
They get attached to it.
Well, the thing about it that's so amazing is everybody has a grandma that wrote her name on Sharpie on the bottom of it, and she takes something to the church bazaar social, and she'd say, "Enjoy my ambrosia salad, buddy. If you take my Tupperware, I'm going to cut off your hand."
Get that back?
Praise
Oh
Jesus.
yeah,
yes.
oh yeah.
Because people do that. They have an attachment to it. Because if you go to the grocery store and you get the stuff off the shelf, and you're like, oh, you don't think about it. All right, you put it in the buggy and you go out and you check it out, and then everything goes on. But if we go to a Tupperware party, you pick things that you like. You know what they do. They're not just going to bowl. You're going to put crap in. You're like, oh, I'm getting this because I got a reason to get it. You're going to remember the host of the party. You're going to remember the friends you had at the party and some of the things that happened. So you have this association that you're building up that is so much more interesting.
You're attached to your Tupperware, aren't you?
And that's why people love it, and they take better care of it, and it lasts forever, and it's got a lifetime warranty.
And I bet they take a lot of care in cleaning it. They really give it TLC.
They do. That's why you have Mimos that have Tupperware that's 50 years old, 60 years old, because they took good care of it, and it takes good care of it, and it's a great product, and it's American made. This makes me real proud. It got a lifetime warranty.
It lasts forever.
It lasts forever. You can't have nothing go wrong with it.
You put that stuff in a landfill, it'll still be there in 200 years.
Oh my Lord! If you put it in a landfill, it'll jump right back and end up in your cabinet. It don't want to go away.
No kidding. Wow, that's cool.
But yeah, so I mean, and I've been to Denver many times. Denver's so nice. They've taken me. They're going back in the spring of next year for our 7th time there.
Really?
On the shows. Yeah. So they keep saying, "Come on," and I keep saying, "Oh, how high?" I still don't know that.
Have you been in Jersey before?
So I've been last year. I was in 2 different places. I was in Morristown, and now my mind's gonna leave me. I was in Morristown, and oh Lord, starts with a C. I don't know where it is. The Count Basie Theater. And
okay.
And so I was at those
down in Red Bank.
Yes, in Red Bank, and I was in those 2 theaters. It was my first time ever performing, and Lord, I had the best time ever. It was so neighborly. I had so much fun. But then I'm coming back here. Now both those shows was one night only, and this I'm gonna be here 2 weeks. So that's
2 weeks.
That's what's exciting.
A lot of shows. You're playing April 10th, 11th, 12th. Saturday the 13th, you're playing at 2 and 8, and then the following Monday through Friday, you're playing at 8, and then the following Saturday again, 2 and 8.
Yeah, so I go. It's the whole from the 10th to the 20th. So plenty of opportunities.
Whatever you said, I'm sure it was good.
Yes, plenty of opportunities coming in the program.
Plenty of opportunities coming in. Yeah, I got that.
What I love is I get to, when I am in a city a little bit longer, I get to go around the city. I get to see what the city is like and feel the heartbeat of the city.
Let me know when you're going around.
I will.
I will warn people. I'll let them know you're going to be there.
And they'll come rushing.
And if they want to get tickets, www.avenelarts.com.
Right, AVENEL arts.com, and they can get the tickets.
That right, I think.
And, yeah,
I'm not sure if you said E or A with that last one, but it was close.
AVENEL.
Close enough.
Arts. Yeah.
Close enough. We'll put it up on the screen.
Yeah.
Now I got less than 2 minutes left. So tell me, what do you do for fun when you're not selling Tupperware? I am. I love drinking. Keep in mind, this is a family channel.
Well, I do have a thing I can lift my leg up all by myself without even using my hand, but that's for a later night thing. You know what? I love running, sometimes from the law, sometimes on my own. I'm a big knitter. I'm a crafty kind of person.
Big knitter?
I love to knit. I love to knit sweaters and scarves and things like that, hats, gloves. Sometimes with fingers, sometimes without. What depends on what you need them for. But I love to knit, so I like to be crafty, and I like. There's a lot of things. Drinking is one of my favorites. I'm never gonna go.
We've
far
established
from
that pretty early in the interview. We've
I
established
just want to make sure I drive.
Yeah,
that
no, I got
home,
that. I got that part.
But I love my favorite thing is meeting people. I love meeting people because I meet people from all over the entire world, and I know that there's so many people have so many things in common. Like most people are stupid. That's something I find everywhere, and then you go, ooh, and it just makes you feel good about yourself because you're smarter than them.
Yeah, you just got to get past that. I mean, it's okay.
I know. You just work on it, and then you just sort of like pat yourself on the back and go. But yeah, no, I love to travel. I love to explore. I love to see what different cities have to offer. I love to see what makes everybody sparkle and what makes everybody different.
Well, since you're going to be here for 2 weeks, you're staying right at the APA Hotel in Metro Park. We're going to have to take you around town and show you the great things.
I can't wait. And a lot of times I'll go on my social medias and I'll be like, hey, hookers, guess what? I'm here. And then I say, tell me about your favorite place to be. And then people all over.
Well, down in Woodbridge. We don't allow them on Woodbridge.
Oh, they don't tell you?
No.
They don't go on the internet?
No, they don't. Well, anyway, we're going to wrap it up. Dixie, this has been great talking to you. I'm looking forward to your show tomorrow. I'm looking forward to 14 straight shows in Woodbridge Township. We are going to have a time of our life. We're going to have one heck of a hootenanny, as I always say. We sure are. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for spending some time with me and letting me be with you today. All right? Okay, folks. Thank you, darling. Thank you for watching Around the Best Town. I'm John McCormick, your host, and we'll soon see you all at the Avenel Performing Arts Center. Thanks for watching.